The song that you just heard is A Change Is Gonna Come, and if you're a fan of mine, you've most likely heard me sing the song before. If you're not a fan of mine, then tonight's going to be an incredibly awkward evening for you. But it is one of the most famous civil rights songs ever written, so I've sang it before, but to get to sing it in the context of tonight is fantastic. I love Thanksgiving. That's my favorite holiday because I get to go home and put aside all of the dysfunction and sit down with my family and enjoy a good meal, and it's my favorite time of year. And this year I decided to just take the train down. I had the day off, and so I jumped on the train, and I decided not to bring the dogs this year because the year before I went on the train and Jacob, the little one, ended up in someone's lap all the way down the car. And so I had a stranger just waving at me awkwardly, but I couldn't go and get him because I was attached to a feral beast, my other dog, Layla, who was having a panic attack because she's a wild animal and shouldn't be on a train. So I was so exhausted by the end of that journey that I left the dogs at home. And you all thought that you were going to get out of here without a dog story tonight. But this is me, so. And speaking of home, segue. The next song is Home from the first EP. First guest to the stage, Miss Emma Hunton. Where are you, Emma? Oh, hey! My gosh, that was an entrance. Emma Hunton, everybody! Emma's amazing.
From Matt Doyle.
Oh,
incredible as always.
Emma is unbelievable. I met Emma when she was 15. And we were doing Spring Awakening together, and she's so talented, and she just gets even more incredible. And she went off and she started in the Next to Normal tour, and we're gonna do a song by Florence and the Machine tonight. I love Florence and her band, The Machine, and I was avoiding them for so long because The Dog Days Are Over was playing absolutely everywhere, and I refused to give in even though I loved it so much. And I finally bought the album, and of course I listened to it all the time, and Cosmic Love is one of my favorites on that album. So we're going to do a version of Cosmic Love. And now for a quieter song. What's that? It is hot, yes, but that's what it is to be under the lights at Joe's Pub. And now we've reached the breakup song portion of our show. We have like 3 in a row. I always say that the key to songwriting is to get into a horrible relationship, and then you just have a wealth of material. Just ask Adele, yeah. This next song is called Weigh Me Down, and it's actually the first song that you and I wrote together for the EP. And yeah, no, it is. And we headed down to Nashville and we presented it to the guys, and it's the one that they like flipped out over, and it became like the most produced album or most produced song on the album, and it is like Aerosmith produced, and I fucking love it. And but it is nice to go back to the quieter days with this song, and so we're gonna give you a more intimate version of Weigh Me Down. It is an honor and such a thrill to be able to call him my co-writer, mostly just because I love the word co-writer. This next tune is actually a year old today. I went down to Thanksgiving last year with my crazy dogs on the train, and wrote this song while I was there. And it was actually the last song that we wrote before we went down to Nashville. We wrote it the night before, and headed down there, and it was complete madness, but it turned out great. It's called What Do You Gain? And I was listening to Sam Cooke on the train to Connecticut, which is why this happened, because I listened to so many other artists. He's my favorite, and I talk about him non-stop, so I do apologize. But there is, on one of his compilation albums, there's a track called Soul, and it's a radio interview from the early 1960s. And the guy asks him, so I want you to sing 8 bars of what soul represents to you. And he sings, and then the guy says, Sam Cooke's yours, he'll never grow old. It's my favorite. favorite. So I used that line as inspiration for the chorus of What Do You Gain? So now that I've completely admitted to complete plagiarism, no, we changed a few notes. So now that I sound like Vanilla Ice, there's a ting. We are going to do What Do You Gain? So yeah, this is What Do You Gain. I'm so excited about this next song. I would love to welcome Miss Katie Foffel to the stage. Katie is in War. Oh my gosh, they keep scaring me. Katie is in War Horse with me. Why don't I just turn around and look when you're entering? We sing together a lot, and we quite like it. And we're gonna stay in that dirty South vein that we just went to. And for some really strange reason, every time that Katie and I sing together, we pick like Appalachian South. Like, we want to go to like the mountains and sing about hard times in Barton Hollow. And that's what we're going to do tonight.
That's what we're going to do.
And so we're singing Barton Hollow by the Civil Wars. It is the title track from their album. So I'm going to get my seat.
I think it's because I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's so Appalachian.
Well, that's the thing is like, there's a part of me that so wants to be that, but I'm petrified to step into half of those states, so it would probably not be genuine. But we're gonna do it. Speaking of Katie, the last time we did a show together, Katie and I were talking backstage, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I don't really drink on stage. And I can't really do a show with alcohol, it drives me out." And I was like, "Oh, I can." And real classy, like, I went up with like a Heineken or a Corona. And for the entire show, by the second number, I realized that not only was it drawing me out, but I then had to burp in between almost every single bar. And I was completely mortified, so I came prepared tonight, Katie. I have water. Thank you. The last song of our set. This last song is a love song, and I think in the end, that's what this really is about. It is about, if two people are in love, they should have the right to get married. And I don't give a flying fuck what your beliefs are. I don't give what your religion is. This is about basic human right. And, so it's really special that you're all here. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, Broadway Impact, for everything that you do. And thank you for having me, Joe's Pub. It's been awesome. So we're gonna wrap up with a song that is on my upcoming EP, and it's called "What You Stole." All my songs are really angsty. You know that. I'm so aware. I know. And so I wanted to write a love song, and I wanted to write something sweet, and this is what happened. Gone so well. I had to end with that. All right, thank you guys. There's nothing worse than encores. You would run off the stage. I don't know. I just stay here and wait. This next song is another song about love, and it is a song by Paolo Nutini, and he's Scottish and he sings soul, which I just think is so cool. He's really young, and he wrote this song called "Coming Up Easy," and the lyric at the end of this song is, "It was in love I was created, and in love is how I hope I'll die." And I love that lyric so much, and I think that's something that we all strive for and that we all want for each other. And I think it's a wonderful way to end tonight. So thank you again for coming out. This is Coming Up Easy.